Have you ever pondered what it takes to live a life that truly honors and reflects the principles of love, compassion, and righteousness? If so, you might find the answer in one of the most profound discourses in human history, the Sermon on the Mount. On a hillside overlooking the Sea of Galilee, a man named Jesus began to speak. His words, captured in the Gospel of Matthew chapters 5 to 7, would go on to shape the course of human thought and morality for centuries to come. This sermon, though brief, encapsulates the essence of Jesus' teachings and provides a blueprint for leading a virtuous life. Our journey begins with the Beatitudes, a series of blessings pronounced by Jesus. These are not just mere words of comfort, but transformative principles that challenge us to cultivate a spirit of humility, mercy, and peace. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, Jesus begins, emphasizing the value of spiritual poverty and humility. He goes on to bless those who mourn, the meek, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, the merciful, the pure in heart, the peacemakers, and finally, those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Following the Beatitudes, Jesus presents metaphors that emphasize the influence and responsibility of his followers. He likens them to salt of the earth and light of the world, urging them to preserve their faith and let their good deeds shine before others. Then Jesus delves into the law, not to abolish it, but to fulfill it. He introduces the idea of a higher righteousness that surpasses the mere letter of the law. He redefines murder, adultery, divorce, and oaths, offering a deeper, more spiritual interpretation. It's not just about the act, he explains, but about the intent behind it. In the second half of the sermon, Jesus talks about the importance of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, performed not for public recognition, but as an intimate act between the individual and God. He teaches the Lord's Prayer, a succinct model of prayer that encapsulates adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. Jesus also warns against the dangers of materialism, urging his listeners to seek treasures in heaven rather than on earth. He emphasizes the importance of trust in God, who cares for each of his creations, and encourages his followers to seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. The sermon concludes with a call to action, a challenge to not just hear his words, but to act upon them. Jesus uses the parable of the wise and foolish builders to illustrate the importance of building one's life on the solid foundation of his teachings. The Sermon on the Mount, in essence, is a guidebook for living a life that reflects the heart of God. It challenges us to rise above the superficial, to delve deeper into the spirit of the law, to seek a righteousness that springs from the heart, and to live in a way that honors God and blesses others. It is a call to a higher standard, a call to live not just by the rules, but by the spirit of love and compassion. So, as we navigate through the complexities of life, may we find in the Sermon on the Mount a beacon that guides us towards a path of righteousness and peace.